Downriver from here, there's an old fort on a small island that you can only get to at high tide. It's an amazing place that I've been really keen to do a shoot at for a very long time, and today we're going to get the opportunity.
On this shoot, we were going to be at the mercy of Mother Nature. And today was the only day that the tide was going to let us in and out during the daylight. But as soon as that kit was off the boat, it would have to leave, leaving us marooned on our own little island.
So we're here for the next 12 hours, no matter what. There's no way we can get off when the tide goes out. Even with this canoe, we would have to wade across meters and meters of deep, dangerous, sticky mud. So no matter what happens now, we're going to do a shoot.
Am I speeding?
The idea for this shoot came about when we made a music video for the band Healos and the song Kyoto. The song was about destroying the planet and the Kyoto Agreement. The video was about a mermaid in a sushi bar. The idea being, as we destroy the oceans, we destroy ourselves. This left us with a mermaid tale, and we always said, jokingly, that we would do a mermaid shoot. But when I saw the inside of the fort for the first time, I knew that was something I really wanted to do. Most of the images in this shoot I'd planned to photograph on the lower levels, which were flooded at the end of the Second World War when the military abandoned it. And to shoot from the lower levels, we were going to have to get the canoe inside, which is quite exciting, but not for the faint-hearted.
Kit for today is going to be the Canon 5D Mark III, which has got an 18-35. I've also got a 17-40 lens for it. I've got the Pentax Spotmatic, which has got a 35mm Super Takumar on it. And I've got the Hasselblad 501, which has currently got an 80 on it. I've also picked up a 50. And that should give me a nice, well-rounded set of tools. The first shot I want to do, I want to put her in a sort of pre-Raphaelite medieval style dress. And I'm going to use these patches of light and expose for the highlights and get something quite dramatic, like you've just encountered a ghost.
The first setup was actually the end of the story, but it was the simplest image, so it's something to ease us into the shoot. Focus on a medium format camera with no focusing aids when there isn't much light is going to be a real challenge. Because the bigger your film size, the wider your iris, the less margin for error you're going to have. So I'm guessing that the model is 17 feet from the camera. I've got a 6x6cm frame size. I've got an 80mm lens working at t4. This would give me an available depth of focus of 5 feet 6 inches, starting at 14 feet 10 inches at the near point, and the furthest point it's at 19 feet 11 inches.
But generally, you're safer when you're focusing at a greater distance than you actually think it is, than you are focusing at a lesser distance than you think it is.
For example, on this shot, I've got 10% greater focus area behind the subject than I do in front of it.
I also swapped out the waist level finder for the prism, as I find it much easier to get sharps on. For the second shot, I want to put her on one of these bridges, one that's not too overgrown. And she can stand here with the red dress on, and then we've got red fabric which might extend all the way down to the water. And then I can shoot it from the canoe looking up, and it's really quite magical when it's like that. And because nothing here is red, she should stand out and make a really cool picture. That was epic.
You're welcome.
When you're doing something you've never done before, it's really important to do a rehearsal rather than learning on the job.
That we've got two poses. One is the Venus in the shell kind of thing with the fabric, and the fabric just extends down to the water.
I'm just going to try to remember as much as I can what each one felt like, and if you can communicate with me, communicate that, because you're going to be down there, so just make sure that if you can at least check in with me.
Could you pose for me?
Oh, I can.
Bash, chill out. You're going?
That is slow for me. Okay, I'll go slower. Driving Miss Daisy over here.
Drive Miss Daisy very delicately.
I'm not touching that water.
Because of the dead pigeons.
Terrible.
I love this camera, be careful. It's now in the boat. Don't care about this one quite as much. I'm currently on a canoe with about 3 grand's worth of camera gear, being paddled by a BMW driver. He's learnt a bit of subtlety. We haven't hit the wall in the last couple of minutes.
With AI, you can create scenes like this without ever leaving your desk. So using an almost IMAX-sized piece of film in a 40-year-old mechanical camera while sitting in a canoe floating around a ruined Victorian castle in the rain is the definition of being a Luddite.
I'm only happy when it's complicated.
Let's get one more roll of this.
And though I know you can't appreciate it, I'm only happy when it rains. You know I love it when the music's back.
But creating a fantasy in reality, existing within the scene, working in the moment with your model without dependence on technologies, which leave you at the mercy, ethics and values of the corporations that created them, will always have value.
Bum shot.
So we've just shot the second look. Crunch. And so far, everything's gone fine.
We're working in the rain, we're doing really well. Some people say, do you use a cover for the Hasselblad in the wet? I've never used one, and I'm about to find out if I need one.
Assuming the rain would pass, Lena got to work turning Jamie into a mermaid, using seaweed and shells she'd found on the beach.
Very fishy.
For the third shot, I want to do the shot that I was imagining since I first saw this place, which is Jamie in the mermaid tail, crawling out of the water.
For a while, it looked like nature was never going to let us get that shot. But if you're always waiting for perfect conditions, you could be waiting forever.
Oh, wet ass. Crash.
Yep.
Oh, my ass is so wet.
The challenge now was all on the girls. Getting into that mermaid tail on the tiny worn steps of the fort, and then giving an amazing performance in the rain was never going to be easy, but Jamie just nailed it. She became the mermaid. She embodied the story of the sea creature that had to leave the sea because we'd destroyed it.
Giant breath.
That one.
I am not displeased.
Is it worth the way you're feeling right now?
Oh yeah, no, it always is.
It's good.
I'll just punch you in the back of the head a couple of times.
The tide's coming back in. We're going to go home soon. And we've got time to do that one last picture. And we'll just nail everything. It's looking great.
There's a hole in it.
As we started on the last shot, the wind blew up way more than forecast. And our boat came in early in order to get us off the island before it blew up so much that the gear would be ruined on the way home. The choice to get that shot anyway did result in a bit of a rush departure and a rough ride home. Thankfully though, we had the mermaid tail to cover the camera bags. The rest of us weren't so lucky.
If you like watching us suffer, you can watch the rest of our videos. You can buy the prints on Darkroom Tech. You can become a Patreon, and you can hit subscribe. Or if you want to apply to be Ollie's next assistant.
So, was it worth it? Photographer Dorothea Lange said, "Photography takes an instant out of time, altering life by holding it still. Being able to imagine and then create that instant, and then being able to walk around it for a brief time, record it and share it with people, is the core of what photography is for me, and that will always be worth it." To see the images in more detail, they'll be available on darkroom.com, censored on my new Instagram, or on my Patreon page. And don't forget to follow Jamie and Lena as well. Their Instagram links will be in the description below.
Great, so fun. Ha ha ha. Here's my GoPro. Hey, like and subscribe. And we're like dying. it.